Poor cleaner helps blind homeless man, unaware he's actually a secret billionaire in disguise. Maria's shoes squelched with each step as she trudged through the slushy sidewalk, her mop bucket wobbling beside her. The early morning fog clung to the city's bones, and her breath rose in little clouds as she reached the office building she cleaned every day before sunrise. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid enough to keep the lights on in her one-bedroom apartment and feed her sick mother. She was invisible here, just the cleaner. No one greeted her. No one asked how she was doing. She scrubbed toilets while others drank lattes and talked stock portfolios. But this morning, as she rounded the corner of the alley behind the building, a sight made her stop in her tracks. A man, hunched and shivering, sat near the dumpster, a white cane clutched tightly in his hand. His clothes were ragged, face unshaven, and eyes vacant beneath grime-caked lids. Blind. Homeless. And so clearly forgotten. "Sir," she said gently, kneeling beside him. "Are you all right?" He flinched at her voice. "Didn't mean to be in the way," he muttered. "Just needed a place to rest a while." Maria swallowed the lump in her throat. He wasn't in the way. This world had just stopped making space for people like him. She took off her scarf and gently wrapped it around his neck. "It's freezing. You'll get sick out here." "I've been sick a long time," he said with a broken laugh. She paused. "Have you eaten?" He shook his head. "Not today. Or yesterday, I think." Without thinking twice, Maria stood. "Wait here. I'll be back." She went inside, bypassed her janitor's closet, and reached into her lunch bag, the only food she had for the next 10 hours, 2 egg sandwiches, 1 apple, and a bottle of water. She took the apple out, hesitated, then stuffed the rest into a paper towel and ran back. "Here. It's warm," she said, placing the sandwich in his hand. He touched it carefully, as if it were treasure. "Why are you helping me?" Maria blinked. "Because, if I were out here, I'd hope someone would help me too." For the next few days, the blind man stayed near the alley. Maria learned his name was Jonas. He never begged, never asked for anything. Each morning, she shared a bit of her food, wrapped his hands in spare gloves she found in Lost and Found, and sometimes just sat with him for 5 minutes in silence before beginning her long shift. She didn't know why she cared so much. Maybe because she too had been invisible for so long. She knew how loneliness could eat someone from the inside. One rainy Thursday, Maria arrived to find the alley empty. Jonas was gone. Her heart clenched. Had the city cleared him away? Had he fallen ill? Days passed. Weeks. She never saw him again. Until the Monday everything changed. Maria arrived to work to find a black luxury car parked outside the building. Inside, the lobby buzzed. A man in a sharp navy suit with salt and pepper hair and striking gray eyes stood beside the building owner. People whispered that he was the new investor, a billionaire philanthropist named Jonathan Hale. Maria didn't care for gossip. She had toilets to clean. But when she pushed her mop cart across the marble floor, she felt eyes on her. "Maria," a deep voice said. She froze. That voice. She turned. The billionaire was walking toward her, slowly, but with purpose. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "I'll be out of the way in just a moment." "Don't you remember me?" he asked, removing his sunglasses. His eyes, though now alert and gleaming, still held the faint hint of a familiar sadness. Her mop slipped from her hand. "Jonas?" He smiled. "It's Jonathan, actually." Jonas was a test of sorts. "I lost my sight temporarily from a condition, and I wanted to see the world without being seen. To understand what life is like when no one knows your name, or cares to ask." Maria felt her knees weaken. You were pretending." "Not pretending," he said gently. I was stripped of everything I had for a time. No assistance. No credit cards. No bodyguards. Just me and the truth. And in that alley, when I had nothing, you were the only person who treated me like I was still human. Tears brimmed in her eyes. I didn't do it for any reason. I know, he said. That's why it meant everything. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small envelope. I've started a foundation for people who've been invisible too long, like the blind, the homeless, the overlooked. And I want you to lead it. Full time. With a salary that'll take care of your mother and more. Maria's lips trembled. But I'm just a cleaner. No, Jonathan said, stepping forward. You're the kindest soul I've ever met. That's what this world needs in leadership, not titles. She looked down at the envelope, stunned. Why me? Because you saw me, he said simply. When no one else did. And in that moment, the janitor and the billionaire stood eye to eye, not divided by class or wealth, but united by the fragile, beautiful thread of humanity. The end. Message. Sometimes the greatest acts of kindness happen when no one is watching, and it's those very moments that change everything. True wealth lies not in what we have, but in how deeply we care.